Hello, everybody. It is Rebecca, and I am just finishing up a couple of things here. All right, so the chat is ready to go. Make sure everyone can hear me. I think my volume up. All right. All right, so this is Dr. Foster, and I am finally on to do a bit of a gallery for everyone tonight. Hello, everybody. I am going to go for, I don't even know how long. I don't even know how long. It's been one of those days. So it's just been one of those, like, let me just sit down and just like do nothing kind of a day. So I am going to, and nothing is working. Like technology is not working. I've been like technologically cursed lately. And so I'm just gonna put it out there. If you can't hear me, hello everybody. Please let me know if there's any glitches. My green screen is on behind me and then nothing working. So I'm just gonna have to, one of these days, I'm gonna have to sit down here and do some techie stuff. Okay, so again, this is Dr. Rebecca Foster, and I am a clairvoyant medium. I am going to read for you guys tonight. I'm going to pull people from the chat list. So if you want to be read, give me a shout and say hello, and I will read as many as I can this evening. And I guess, I'm just going to give them a second for people to kind of get here. But everything comes through, if you've not been here before, everything comes through from God, from spirit guides, and from people who've passed over. And I will give you what I am seeing and what is expressed in the form of symbols. Everything comes through symbolically. So I will do my best to decipher what is being sent to you. And I'm just going to mute this phone real quick because it's going to continue to vibrate and make noise, and I don't need the distraction. Okay, so I'll explain to you everything I'm seeing, and it's there to help. Why is it doing that? Why is it still beeping? Okay, we're just gonna put it there so we don't have to listen. Okay, so we will get going with that. If you want information about events that I'm doing or anything, because I haven't scheduled these because my schedule has been so hectic. I haven't been able to promise being on all of the time because everything it's good. Everything is good. It's all building up to something that's really spectacular, and I'm all good with that. It's just that I know that I'm unable to get on with you guys as often as I would like. So thanks for sticking around and for being there and for listening. So if you want to know about events in your area of when I will be hanging around you all the way from Washington State to Virginia this year, covering in between, go to godstool.com. And if there's someplace you want me to go or an event that you know of that you want me to be at, go to corridor13.com and get a hold of them, and they will book everything for you. Okay, so let's get us started, shall we? All right. Do not feel bad. I'm just going to flip through, and whatever comes through for whomever, I'm going to give them that. And I do go back and forth. So if there's a comment or something, just let me know and go from there. Also, what's going to be fun, I don't want you guys to do it yet. I don't want anyone to do it yet. I want you guys to think of a number in your head and don't put it out there yet. Just wait. And then in a little while, I'm going to have you guys post a number. And I have a number written down on a piece of paper here. And whoever gets that number first, I finally pulled these out. Let me think, how many years ago was it? 13 years ago, I created this pin. Can you guys see this pin? It is a parent. I don't know if you can see it. It's a parent. It's an adult kneeling down, hugging a child. And it's called a You Mean More compassion pin. I actually had these commissioned, and I created it and trademarked it and did a whole bunch of things called You Mean More. And whoever guesses that number tonight is going to get one of these little suckers, because these are going to get pretty popular pretty soon. And basically what it is, it's like I said, it's these adults. It's an adult crouching down. I don't know if you can see with all the, there's so much glare. I mean, even I look pasty tonight, and I'm not pasty. But it's got 3 bands of color that represents the arms, and the top is dark blue and then light blue and green. And it represents, you mean more than my cell phone. You mean more than my phone. The you mean, it's the adult to a child. It represents trust and security and spirituality, compassion, all of those things that, you know, trust and healing, and all the things that adult parents can provide for their children or for foster children. So let's get started. Just letting you guys get in. All right. So Steph Sal, and please forgive me if I mispronounce your name. I do not mean to. I hate pronunciations, but if I do, please forgive me. So Steph, how are you guys? First of all, let's say hello. Let's see who's here. Jackie, hello. Jesse, Steph. It is. Steph, it's one of those weeks. It's like, oh yeah. All right. You're elementary first. See, Dr. Foster's a pretty good name. See that? The principal. I was in the principal's office all this. I still am. All right. Ramonette. Hello, Carl. Anna. All right. This is good. Matthew. Hello. Daniel. Tina. Darcy. Queen of Water. Cecilyn. Good to know. Hi, everyone. American Woman finally made it. Jamie. Hello, Lena. Amy R. Myers. Excellent. Doug. Squirrel. Okay, Katie Beasley. I wouldn't expect anything less. Lala. Okay, so if you guys scroll down and you see Lala, she's got a little wrenchy next to her name. And Kim, and there's Kim as well. Both of them, they're wrenchies, and they help out not only here in the gallery, but also with events or questions. So if you guys have any questions, you can click on them and type them a message, and they will help you out as well. Darcy, hello, Caitlin. All right. Das Orange. Get her name correct? Correct. Right? All right. Let us start, right? All right. Okay. Oh, almost broke my pooter. All right, Steph. So let's start. All right. Let me just get my vibe on here. Right. Okay. I'm like young Frankenstein there. All right. So the first thing that I do for everyone, the first place I look for everyone is a beach. Now the camera are your eyes. So when I'm reading for people, I try not to look at the camera, because it brings me back into my body. And when I'm in my body, it's not where I want to be right now when I'm reading you guys. So I'm looking at what appears as like a veil that comes down, and I'm looking at that. And the beach represents safety, security, and grounding. Water represents problems or situations a person sees coming at them. And I will, as I get to things, I will explain more. So let's start out with Steph, because Steph was quick on the draw, man. She was like, bam, in. All right. So Steph, you know what? It's really funny too, is I can smell or taste different energies. And sometimes it means like you eating this. Sometimes it's just trying to signify what a person really likes or liked in life. And Steph, you smell like bread, like banana bread or zucchini bread, but you smell like bread, like really good bread. And maybe it's because I've been on a diet, but you smell really good. Oh boy, that's funny. So Steph, okay. I'm just watching you really quickly. What you are doing is you are walking, you're walking along this trail or this path, and you've got, I want to call them like Crocs or slip-on shoes, like flippity flops on. And you've got a walking stick. And every time you kind of you step in, you can, and you go to pull your foot out, I can hear like the suction of that in on your shoe, and you're using your walking stick to continue moving forward. And what this basically is telling me is that you are, and it's kind of dark and very focused. So any kind of shoes on a person's foot represent the feeling or the perception that you're being held back by a situation or a person. And the walking stick represents the need for support through making a difficult decision. And sometimes well, not sometimes, but what this is proposing, what they're trying to say is that you are going to be going through a situation, or that you currently are going through a situation that someone else might oppose, but you know that it is a direction you should go, and you're asking for help and support from the people around you. I'm not going to say that you're going to get it, because I'm not going to say that you're going to get it. It could very well be that this is something that you will have to move forward with or do on your own. And the reason you wouldn't be getting people rooting you on is because it comes down to you making the responsible, accountable decision within yourself. And you cannot blame anybody for how it is, or reward anyone. So either way, whatever the direction something goes in your life right now, and this feels very personal, it feels more like this is something that you are finally realizing or expressing within yourself. And I would say to not do it is going to probably cause you major regret. And it's personal. It's not like you're going, I'm not going to do this, or I'm going to start a fundraiser. It's not that. It's not something that's going to help a bunch of people. It's something that's going to help you. So there may not be people around you who support that. C'est la vie. It is what it is. All right. Jackie Baker, I'm going to jump down to you. Jackie, Bobacki, Banana, Fina, Bobacki. Jackie. It's like you've got, what do I want to call it? I feel really stifled. I feel smashed, like very little room to move through. I feel smashed, and I feel constricted to where I have to squeeze through a place that's really narrow. So narrow paths of any kind represent spiritual paths, and they represent something that is enforced on us almost in a godly way, that is saying, I need you to get from here to here, and it's not going to be easy. And this has got to be Kim that is messaging me, my wrenchy, and I'm not sure why, but it is. Okay. Okay, that was Kim. She's my wrenchy. She's got things going on. So it is simply that you are being, I don't want to say you have an option here or a choice. This would be like the more pressure, that's how diamonds are made. That's how things that are precious to us are made, or that we really appreciate. Things that we get easily are kind of like, it's a dime a dozen. But when you really have to work for something, it is, when you put some part of it and invest in things, it makes it worth it. So this stretch is really the way to look at it, is like an investment in yourself, and it won't be easy, but I see you doing it. It's just kind of like takes my breath away a little bit, and not in a bad way. So I would say when you start to look around and go, what is, today I'm just going to tell you was hell, and not sure why. It was just nothing could go right. Nothing went right. And so it's not like that kind of a pressure that you just want to pull like portions of your hair out. It's a pressure that is constant. It is a constant pressure and a constant heat, to where we question, like, am I really going to be able to do this? Am I capable of completing this? That kind of pressure, like a degree program or something. But all right, my distance glasses are not very clear. Let's see. All right, let's bounce back up here. Jesse Garcia. Jesse. I know, you know what? And happy Valentine's Day. Jesse just made me think of Valentine's. It is Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody. Hey. You just made me think of that, Jesse, because you smell like flowers. And you smell like flowers. And I went, ah. But it's Valentine's Day, so that's just probably a given that there's half of the people in here have received flowers. So we're not going to count that as anything mysterious. So, Jesse, I will tell you very quickly. Somebody just pulled my hair. There's been something in the room with me, or not in with me all the time, but in the house is like so massively haunted at this point. So massively haunted. Several children, a woman, a man, so many people here. It's insane. And they're just part of the family now. We just ignore it. But somebody just pulled my hair. That's why I was like looking at the camera, like, is there something above my head? So, Jesse, you smell like flowers. They're saying about, taking care of your vehicle, taking care of anything that does something strange, anything odd with your vehicle. Look at it, pay attention, especially with winter. Not sure where you're located, but making sure all your fluids are up, making sure your tires are full of air. In the cold weather, the tires will deflate a little bit, and so making sure your tires have sufficient air, making sure that you have fluid. They're just repeatedly saying making sure you take care of your car. So there looks like you may actually be putting some money out for vehicle expense coming up that they're talking about. And I know you guys, most of you are here because you want to hear from somebody who's passed over or a loved one that's gone. I can't make them come through, though. I can't make anybody come through. They have to come through on their own, and they have to cross that dimension and get to me that way. Otherwise, it's too exhausting for me to sit here and try to go get them. So if somebody comes through, I promise you, I'll let you know. All right. Let's see here. Let me just skip down here. I know we've got lots of people. Vin, hello. Let me see here, Vin. I'm hearing what I think is your guides, Carl. What I'm hearing is they're saying that they're talking to you like you're not listening to them. They're saying you're not listening. How many times do they have to tell you you're not listening? And see, I know that you're a listener. I know that you pay attention to all the mysterious things, the spiritual things, that you're very aware of what's going on and what's happening around you. I know that. But they're saying that they're communicating something to you and you aren't listening. And it feels like it may be more of a human nature that is preventing you from listening. So it could be something as far as, and you're not egotistical. So I don't want to so much call it ego, but it might be a bit of ego. And I don't want to call it spite, but it might be a little bit of like hurt. It might be a better way for me to put it. Feeling like hurt will cause me to if I'm hurt, it's not that I'm being mean or rude. It's just like I want to pout because I'm hurt, and I may ignore you because I'm hurt, not because I'm being nasty. So it may be something along the line of just feeling either insignificant or feeling unrecognized. And they're saying that you're not hearing them, and they're trying to converse with you about certain things. They're trying to converse with you, and they need you to listen to them. Number 6 is also important for you. So, water. I don't know. My taste buds are off. Tina Wilkeson. Tina, let's take a peek at you. My eyes are so dry today too, and so tight. Like they get really tired when they're dry. So it doesn't help doing readings with tired eyes. But I'm going to look like I'm sleeping, and I'm not. It's just that my eyes are really dry. I put eye drops in and okay. Tina. Give me something on Tina. I'm looking for you, Tina. You're a stone's throw away from the door. Okay. So what your guides are telling me is that you are about to walk through a door finally. It almost looks like you're brushing yourself off like if you were to just come out of a fire or someplace and you're like, you know, brushing the ash and the smoke off of you and your eyes, and then you're looking around like, where am I? And they're saying you're just a few feet away from a doorway that is going to you're going to walk through this door. The dogs are out now. It's like, seriously, I need a bunker. I need a bunker. It's so loud upstairs with the dogs and children. What I'm watching from a distance, when I'm reading people, I'm watching from a distance. And so watching you, Tina, it looks like you are coming out of like a blaze or coming out of a place where you're catching your breath finally and looking around, and all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, there's a door. So doors represent that movement forward, that opportunity to move forward. They represent new situations and opportunities that you can have. They're never just placed there as a joke or a trick. If we walk through them, though, that's our choice. That is our option, to walk through a doorway that's presented to us. Tell her to go through. I'm supposed to tell you to go through. Now, is there like an Aunt Arlene or Eileen? Aunt Arlene, Eileen says so. Your aunt says so. There's an opportunity. There's a doorway that you may look at and go, imagine just like coming out of a situation that is pretty spectacular, and all of a sudden you're being asked to walk through a door that you know is going to shut behind you, and you're like, how do I walk away from this? How do I exit this situation? How do I get away from? I can't walk away. I have to stay. I have to figure. I have to wait. I have to see. I have to examine. And she's saying, no, walk through the door. Shut the door behind you. You know, go past go. Do not collect $200. That kind of a thing. All right, Cecily Polly. Cecily, there's actually some sound. Hallelujah! I know, right? There's sound. Praise the Lord. All right, Cecily, let's take a peek at you. First off, Cecily, the first thing that I'm hearing is that you need to be softer on yourself. You need to be easier on yourself. They're saying that you are beating yourself up, and it's not like you're not just doing it just to do it. It's almost as if you are beating yourself up based on what other people or others would think or see or say about you. And so for instance, if I am by myself with my kids, if I'm by myself, we're cool. Like, we have fun. I'm still mom, but I'm more playful, and there's just a lot of things that I do differently. But if I'm with someone, all of a sudden, everything that they do and I do, I'm considering this person. And so my behavior changes. And that's what they're saying is kind of what you're doing, is you're judging yourself harsher because of what you think other people are thinking or saying about you. And so you need to just simply, you need to say, forget it, forget you, screw this, screw that. You know what? I can tell you that it is much more fun to be yourself than it is to try to appease other people. And every time I'm in a situation with my kids like that, I remind myself, you wouldn't do this normally. You wouldn't reprimand, or you wouldn't say this or act this way because you're alone, you're having fun, you're letting your kids be kids, and you're being the crazy mom that you are. But when there's people around, even my husband, I'm different because I know either he wants this way or that, and so you react differently. And they're saying, don't. For you, don't. None of us should, really. I'm talking straight to the choir here. None of us should do that. We should always be ourselves. But there is always in the back of our mind that consideration for other people. For most part, I want to say not everybody is probably like that. Believe me, I've driven past like 5 of them in the last couple of days. But consideration for others can cause us to judge ourselves. And what they're saying, that right now it's very important that you don't do that, because it will alter the decisions that you make. And all those rivers, all the rivers run to the same ocean. Not all paths lead to the same destination. Some go that way, some go that way. And I can tell you logically and spiritually that pathways go take you a completely different place. Get in the water, it may take you to the ocean and you meet like people that you haven't seen forever. But that's a different story. So Cecilyn, for you, you need to really stop judging yourself. We're not supposed to judge. We are not, and that goes for ourselves. We're not supposed to judge, period. Because when we judge ourselves, we depict where we belong, who we belong with, how we go. We cannot judge ourselves because of that very reason, because we condemn ourselves. Don't judge. Be as free and as stupid and as crazy as you can be, and try it for like a day. It's very important to what you're about to venture up to, and the answers that you give, the agreements that you provide, will all depend on how you see yourself in that moment. And you have to get to a point where you are the most important person to impress in that moment. What would Cecilyn say? Cecilyn would say, go for it. Boom. Don't worry about, all the people standing there watching. Very important. That goes for everybody. Mary Grace Kirby. Hello, darling. Mary Grace. So the first thing I'm supposed to tell you, Mary, is healing. There is healing coming to you. And you know what, Mary? I also want to tell you this. I wanted to thank you. You guys, some of you don't know is I did, I have a members only group that's off of my godstool.com, and I do galleries every other Friday, especially privately for the members only group. So if you're interested, go to godstool.com and look that up. But the last 2 galleries I've done during the day, I've read everyone in the group with no sound. No sound. It was recorded and put out there twice. So, Mary, I want to thank you for your awesome little message about, just your awesome message, because it really, it made me feel good, and it just reassured me that I was not going to be, it was not today, devil, not today, death. It was bad. So, Mary, for you, what I'm supposed to tell you is that there's like a healing coming on, that you're going to be healing. And when I say you're going to be healing, it also makes me feel like you're not only healing, but you're also going to be healing others around you. Those words. Let me fix this light. It's kind of bright. It's making me like see funky. So give me a second here. Let me just turn this up a little bit because it's really, really bright. Okay. All right. There we go. That's a little bit better. It's really bright. So and I want to tell you, almost like put your hands on somebody. I want to tell you to put your hands on someone. I want you to like lay hands. And it may not be that you're like, white light. You may not be doing that. excuse me, it may simply be that you are touching someone on the shoulder. You know, touch is a huge thing. And when we touch someone, it's a direct energy transfer. I mean, we are transferring that right to that person. They are feeling what we are sending them, that little vibrational message. And it may just be exactly what that person needs. Like they haven't, maybe somebody hasn't been touched in a long time. And to just put your hand on someone, they may like jump. They may like, whew, that may freak them out. But I'm hearing something about you. There's healing going on around you. And yeah. Great. I'm not sure if that's a name or if it's, I'm hearing repetitively Grace. So I'm not sure if that's a name of this grandmother figure that's coming through, or this, she almost looks like a godmother, like a fairy godmother. The way she looks is fairy godmotherish. And she looks like she's I'm hearing Grace. I'm hearing over and over and over and over and over and over. Grace, 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 Grace. And that's important. I don't know what it's interesting. It's funny too how this gift has transformed and how it continues to transform and how the messages transform. How the vibration changes around me. What I'm seeing is crazy. I mean, you know, just to switch gears here real quick. Was it last night or the night before? I don't even know. It's like constant. I woke up and I was, of course, laying down. I wasn't sitting up, but I'm like, okay, so the pillow's behind me. And I opened my eyes and I watched this circle that was about this big come from up here and go over and behind my head to the point where I was like reaching for it. And then I got so dizzy, I thought I was going to have like an attack of vertigo. And I laid there thinking, oh my God, what just happened? Why? I look like a cat, like reaching for something on the television. It was crazy. It was watching the light move from above me over behind my bed, and I actually reached for it. Who does that? This girl does. All right. It is, Amelia, an awful Valentine's Day. Girl, high five, okay? And, you know, I got gifts. I did. I got gifts. And it's not about gifts. It's really not. There was so much more that happened today that was so wrong that it could have been just any other day. It's not about the gifts, people, and it's not about what you get. It's really not like materially. It's not about what you get. But Amelia, it was a bad day. So let me just click on that for you. Part of it, Amelia, that I'm seeing for you is you look like a bee on a window, you know, like buzz, 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 ding, 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 ding. And then I come up behind you with my flipper and okay. I would still do that. I don't care if there's any bee lovers out there. They sting, and I'm always the target. So, okay. What that tells me is that the saying, lean not unto your own understanding, applies to you here. It means that you are moving forward and approaching and tending towards things that you think you need or are important, and you're going in the wrong direction because you're using your eyes. You have to kind of close your eyes and listen and figure out where is spirit directing you, because it looks like there's a path, like there's the glass in front of you and you can see the path like through the glass, and you're trying to get through this glass. Boom, boom. Well, it's right there. Like, why can't, but you have to kind of move around that glass pane and follow the path that's there. And it will take you through this little hidden thing, like in Labyrinth, you know, where she's talking to the like, hello, I'm just a worm, you know, that little guy in the window, and he's on a little rock and he's drinking, come in for a cup of tea, that little guy. And he's like, no, don't go that way, go that way. She should have gone that way. Well, there's that little brick wall and she kind of walks through it. So there's something in there in your direction right now that you are not seeing, and it's right in front of you. And you just kind of have to stop trying to approach situations. And this feels like it's work related, career related, and energy that is expended in career and work. And they're saying you need to stop thinking that you have to go this way, because it actually goes around. And although you can't see that glass, it is there. And so that can lead to frustration. Like, why can't I get through here? What is the problem? What is the point? Why am I here if there's a path there and I can't get to it? So where work is concerned, if I throw you onto your work pathway to clarify this a little more, it almost like it feels like things that you're saying and doing where work is concerned are falling on deaf ears. And so people are not they're not hearing you right now, maybe because you're ahead of the game, or because you're conceiving ideas that are not yet pertinent to what the career direction is that it needs or is moving. It feels as if I need to throw you in a raft and let you just ride on the water for a little while. That means stop trying right now. Let things happen as they will. Let them fall on a conveyor belt and move on through, and stop trying so hard. Things are going to fall into place exactly the way you need them, where career is concerned. God, that water smells so weird. I have it's so bad. It's like I have the nose of a hound. It's not the glass. It's my water, and it smells like really chemically. Ugh. I usually drink bottled water. So if there's any family watching, I could use a bottle of water right now. Okay. Let's move on down here real quickly. Let's see if anybody's replying to anything. I know, right? It's a great movie. Oh, frustration does suck. It does take a lot out. You're welcome. Okay. Labyrinth. Ann Wilkie, do you see it ever happen to see in my disability case ever be approved? Yes, it will, Anne. And it looks like, I know this is a weird way for them to symbolically do it, but they show you kind of hobbling on your foot. They're showing you hobbling, and then they're showing you actually like your ankle kind of is bruised, but you're walking on it. And so the way that they're expressing that this will actually come through for you is it may not be a perfect settlement, but I know that's what are you asking, a disability case? Yeah, it may not be like a perfect settlement, but it will get you through. Yes. Yes. Your water tastes funny since you've had awakening. That's interesting. That's very interesting, Queen. That's I don't know. I just know my water tastes really weird. Okay. Let me go up here really quick. What? Patty Kinney, let's take a peek at you. All right, Patty. Patty, where are you? Let me put on my glasses so I can possibly see a little bit better, right? All right, Patty. I just want to make sure I'm saying this right. Patty, it almost looks like you've got a baby girl coming around you. Not through you, but someone around you is either pregnant or about to be pregnant with a baby girl. I think there's an S, and then like Stephanie or something, an S. But it looks like you've got a baby girl coming through to you, to your family, brunette. And it's interesting how the dimensions are separated here. It's very interesting. They're like giving me different information on both sides, which is really strange. Looks like a baby girl through a daughter. Well, of course, through a daughter. Derp. But I'm looking at how this affects you, because normally these things will, I mean, that's good news. You know, that's good news. But information about other people will come through when it affects your life. And that's why I'm like, why is this going to affect your life other than through happiness? It feels like this little girl comes through right as there's an alteration in your work situation. And so I'm wondering if you were either switching jobs or out of work when this little girl comes through. And it almost, I know, you know, it's weird. It's like, okay, so you're going to be available to help somehow. So everything's going to fall into place perfectly. It's interesting. Let me flip on down here. Okay. Darcy, I already read you. You might as well go. So I'm just kidding. I didn't read you yet. Just kidding. Okay. All right. So let's take a peek here. I can't read so close up. Really? It kicked you guys off. I wonder why it kicked you guys off. That is so weird. I haven't gotten any issues. It's got to be on YouTube side, because I am not glitching here at all. Seth, you're leaving. Okay, I know you've got to go. Okay, so what? I know this is really weird, Seth, but it almost sounds like they're saying to watch your sugar. So I quick asked if it's like a diabetic thing or what, but they're saying to watch your sugar intake. Watch your sugar intake. Interesting. Watch your sugar intake. All right. So Kim Del Ponte, I wanted to tell you this. This came through for you, and I'm glad you're here tonight. But what they're saying, what they've said is, by the way, anybody wants to go on a Disney vacation, Kim works for Disney. And she can set you up on a vacation. Okay, so Kim, what I was seeing for you was that you are finally going to get closure from something that occurred a long time ago. And I don't want to call it like karma or comeuppance, but it's kind of down that same line. And what it looks like is you're finally going to get the closure that you have either wanted or needed and asked for and have not gotten. And it's going to come when you are least expecting it, of course, but it's good. I'm just going to say that you're finally going to get closure and reasoning for things that you've not been given. But also, what they were showing was that someone is going to be coming into your life, if they're not in it already, that is finally going to be your person. And what they're saying is there will be some similarities to previous things, which means your soul has been looking for this person your entire life, and you mistook other people for this person. And finally, they're here. Finally, they're here. I have to close my nose. It's so bad. I don't know why. It's so gross. Hey, if somebody's watching, can you bring me a bottle of water? Please? Thank you very much. Oh, it's so bad. Okay. All right. You're welcome. Okay. Past cast member for Walt Disney World, Disney Forever, the man. Yes, I know, right? Exactly. Okay. So, let's see. It is. It's all coming. You're finally going to get you're calling Bradley. I think he's at work. He won't bring me water. Hello, Ramandeep. How are you? It's been a long time. Um, so Kim, finally, and it feels like it's pertaining to previous things where you are finally going to stand back and be like, that it feels like you're finally going to get your answers. Okay, so Jillian Long, let's take a peek at you. Health feels good. I'm going to chest and stay away from coughing people. Stay out of Walmart. Inside joke just made me think about it. Head, everything looks good health-wise. Levels look good. Everything looks good overall. Glands look good. Lungs, heart, your blood flow looks good. You must have just gotten over something, though. It looks like your white blood cells are going down. And so you must have just gotten over something. So the decrease in white blood cells shows healing, represents that you are healing, which is good. Are you guys all having issues hearing me? I wonder why. Okay. And so, yeah, so your white blood cells are decreasing, which means you're healing and that your body is overcoming. And I also am supposed to tell you that it feels almost like I want to call it a detox, where you might all of a sudden start to feel or see whatever is in your body coming out through your skin. So it might be acne or a rash, just itching or dryness, but it feels like whatever is inside of you, ill-wise, is going to be coming out and it will form on your skin like dermatitis or acne or something of that kind. I would suggest, and not being a medical doctor of sorts that would treat you, I would get like a detox tea or something that helps with like flushing the liver. That's simple. And that might help your body to process the toxins that are coming out of your body right now. I don't know why it's buffering. It's showing for me. Can you guys hear me? Blurpy24, excuse me, should you change careers? I don't know why I see you like military. I don't know why I'm seeing you having to have something regimented, but you are a person who needs something that is scheduled and set in front of you because you need accountability. Like you need to keep yourself accountable and you need to be somewhere where you know what is expected of you and how. And it like working from home would probably cause a failure in your life because not that you couldn't get it done, but because you need a schedule around you. You need that regiment, and you don't want to work for a jerk. You need to just find something that is conducive to what you need, and that is somebody who says, this is what you're doing today, here you go, boom, and you know what you're doing for the day, you know what you're scheduled for. All right, buffering the whole time. I am on a hardwired computer and no idea. Why did this happen to me? Queen of Water. Anna, I will get to you in a minute. I'm asking your guides for it. Queen of Water. Why are they? Okay. So for you, I'm supposed to ask you why. Well, I don't even know if I should ask. Why do you think anything is a punishment? Is what I'm supposed to ask you. You're not being punished for anything, and you are not being convicted spiritually of anything. What? It almost feels as if you have been afflicted. And they're saying it's due to the compassion building. There's compassion building within you. And it feels like a huge, sharp wall just dropped down on my right-hand side that cuts me off from people and from loved ones. And I feel it was just skimming, like it was just like a sharp razor, just, and I can feel that burn down my body. And so I'm feeling removed from or divorced from these people here. And you can't look at this situation yet and decide. You can't judge the situation as it is right now. You have to wait and look at it in hindsight to understand it. For instance, if I showed you a bowl of muck, you'd look at that and be like, that is the grossest thing I've ever seen. But if I bake it and show it to you afterwards, you're going to like, oh, that looks flippin' awesome because Rebecca can bake. I'm going to eat that up. So it's like a situation of you can't look at something until it is complete. You can't judge a situation. You can't look at what's going on all the time until it has come full circle and has come complete to be able to look at it and actually define it. And so what your guides are saying is you're not being punished and you are not being, it may feel like an affliction, but it's all purposeful in this lesson of this life school, so to speak. And you will look back on it and go, I get it now. I understand why. But it feels like a separation from family, and it feels like having been divorced from a situation where people are not understanding it either. And that can cause a lot of pain. And it feels like it would be affecting you physically or health-wise and mentally as well. You just need to really take care of you. It's very important. It is. It's baking. That mucky, crappy looking mess. Like, I don't know, I'm aging myself right now, but when Better Off Dead, when he goes to the lady's house with the French student, she's like, this French bread, and there's raisins in it, and then it like crawls off the table. There you go. That's it. That's exactly it. All right. Let's look up here. Good. Everybody can hear me. Isabella Bacigalupo Polastri. Bacigalupo? Isabella Bacigalupo Polastri? Is that how you say your name? Because if you do, that is kick ass, and I love it. Love it. Okay. All right. Let's see here. All right, Isabella. You feel bad. Okay, I want you to stave off any sickness. I want you to get your rest. I don't care if it means socks, sweatpants, sweatshirt, full blankets. I want you to just go lay in bed and allow your body to heal because you keep pushing on because you seem like you have to. I don't know how many kids you have around you or what's going on, but it's noisy. It's kind of like here. And so I want you to just take care of you. Kids, movie night. I'm going to get on the couch or blanket, whatever. I want you to stop moving. I want you to take care of yourself. Get some good tea. Get something that's going to help, clear your body with little in it, but tastes good. So hot tea. Oh, excuse me. And then I want you to relax and take care of yourself, because I'm looking at you and I'm thinking you are right on the edge, teetering between what looks like a sinus infection, because it feels like you're prone to sinus infections. All I'm going to show you. Okay, so this right up here on you, behind my eyes, this section here, this feels packed or very prone to filling up quickly. And if I were you, I would grab a Sudafed and a D3 and an Ester C and a glass of hot tea. I'm poet, didn't even know it. Okay, and I would do that, and I would get on the couch and I would do nothing, and then everybody else would have to fend for themselves for the night, because I can see you fighting something off. If you can just keep your fingers out of these areas, and you will be good. God forbid, don't ever. You know what I always said? Okay, I really hate hand sanitizer. I hate the stuff. I don't like it. I always felt like all it did was kill a little bit, mutate the rest, and then create something that drugs can't fight. And I was right. The kids did this little experiment, and then I saw another person do it, and I was looking at it from different eyes, and I was like, I was right. So regular germs, they turn like green on bread, maybe a little black on bread. So if you go to Walmart and go shopping and then you touch bread, it's going to turn black and green after a couple of days. However, if you go to Walmart, shopping cart, handles, whatever, and you use hand sanitizer, really good. Like rub that crap in there, rub it in good. And then you touch the bread turns red and yellow. What? Horrible germs that go in our finger, like on our fingers, in our eyes. And you're leaving and you're like, oh man, okay. All right, so let's have some lunch. Because everybody eats after you leave. Well, I do. Okay. So wash them puddings. Do not put your fingers in your mouth. Okay. Okay, so I'm off my little tangent. So let's take a peek here. All right. I can't sing. Good. I'm glad. All right, I know, right? You. So I don't know. I can't sing. I can, but I'm not going to. Hot tea is absolutely delicious. So Caitlin Morower, I always get your name incorrect. Caitlin, when I try to put you, okay, you were kind of walking along an educational pathway, and you're walking and walking, doing your thing, and all of a sudden you stop and you start to almost levitate a little bit. And when I try to push you down, I feel like I'm pushing two north nodes of a battery together. You know, that resistance that you get. And that's what you're doing. It's like, I'm pushing you down and you're still bouncing up. And it, right where you were, the direction you were going, that seems to be where I can't push you, where there's a curve this way and then another lane that goes forward. And so there seems to be a change in career direction and education, which means if you change careers right now, you're going to have a learning curve. You're going to have to change what you know and how you know it. Go for it. Absolutely. If you have to go back to school, it's amazing what we don't know. I mean, if you just throw on a History Channel, you'll learn something new. And it just goes to show how really stupid all of us are, because we can't know everything. You can't possibly know everything. And so learning just makes us feel like it really humbles you, because my kids know things I don't even know. I'm like, how'd you even know that? Like, I didn't even know that. And it's really cool to continue to learn. So always learn. Learning is awesome. All right. And you just started school. I was going to for social work, just decided I might be leaning towards like a whoop whoop. That's right. Okay. Caitlin, I'm going to tell you, psychology. See, social work is really, 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 really awesome. But if you can combine social work with psychology and maybe work as a psychologist, get your PhD, get your MBA, get your what is it, MPH? Is it, what is a social worker? I don't know. Just go do it and get your psychological degree and support it with social work and go work for families and for like a DHS or another department, family and children's services, and really use your compassion. Try to make a difference. Try to break some of the rules that just do not work in social work. Because sometimes the best choice is not reuniting a child with its parents. I'm sorry. I had a little baby girl once. We had her, she was 4 weeks old when we got her. And she would not look at you. She wouldn't react to anything. She just had she wasn't used to stimuli. And so me, of course, I'm like talking to you guys and I'm like using my hands. And so by the time we had her for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and by the time we had to let her go, she was in her bassinet sitting at the table in front of me, and mom came over and we were googly talking, and mom looks at me and looks at her daughter and stood right between us, and her daughter went like this, looking around her mom to see me. And I was like, Wah! And I had to leave her. I had to leave this little girl. Well, I was given a little secret update later that she was not doing well. And that to me is just the worst situation ever, because that's a failure on the part of the courts. But that's just my 2 cents. Okay, then. All right. Yes, and I do have that number on the piece of paper. Happy 1973 baby. When is your birthday? What month? I should know that, but I don't know. Don't tell me actually, because I don't want to know, because then it conflicts with my readings. Okay. All right. All right. Jamie, I wonder if my mom is helping me with my paths. Your mom feels like she's helping you with a path on your path more in the form of like a bird. And it feels like a winter bird. So it would have to be like a cardinal or some fluffy looking little sparrow of some kind. But it feels like a bird that you would have built a rapport with that shows up daily, possibly even scaring other things away. Yeah, so yeah, that's very interesting. Maybe a chickadee. I don't know birds. I don't know birds. Okay. Let me go up here now. La 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 la. I have to make sure I'm not missing anybody. Anna Orager. I said I was going to read you. Okay, Anna. I think it's because I have a message. I really wish somebody that loved me would bring me water on Valentine's Day. I'm Debbie Downer. Okay. I have to do a close up to the camera for that one. Anna. Okay, so Anna, you are walking in a path that it's like a forest path. So the forest represents, it's a transformative path. It's narrow and it's dark. Like it's so thick. The trees are so thick that the trees pretty much ensure that you will stay on the path. You have nowhere to go outside of that because the trees are just so thick. And the canopies are thick, and the light that comes through just transforms everything into like this dark green wonderland. And imagine going into a forest like that. That's terrifying. That's scary. And then the branches are sticking out. So what the whole meaning and the purpose behind this transformative path is those branches kind of pull everything off of you, and it makes you vulnerable. And you're walking through this path, and what is essentially happening is the transformation that is happening to you is very purposeful and needed. And I know after knowing you for all of these years. I know it's been a long time, right? You are a strong individual. And I know that as much as you show your emotions about Hunter, there's still a lot that you keep tapped up because you are trying to be strong. And that is what is finally going to release. And I know that you talk to him, and I know you converse with him, and I know you talk to family about him, but this looks like finally not just a conversation with him, but it looks like you finally have a really strong conversation with God as well. Because I'm watching you, and I can tell that at the end of this path, you have nothing on. You're kind of glowing as you're laying on the ground. It's not like I see y'all naked. I don't see naked people. I see them without clothes, glowing. And you're kind of laying on your left-hand side, and you're talking to God, and you're crying, and you are really just trying to understand all of it. And you're also asking for you're apologizing, you're asking for forgiveness as well. So this is something that is so personal, and it really is beautiful. And what it ultimately means is that God is saying, come talk to me. I want, I may know what's going on up there, and when you're not talking out loud, I may know what's going on, but share with me how you feel and what you're experiencing. Let me know it. And it feels like a release for you, a big release for you. And Hunter says you talk to him all the time. He says that you're always talking to him. And a lot of times he'll be like, yeah, Mom, I hear you. And then he'll go about his days like, yeah, Mom. So he knows. He's like, he hears you. He gets it. And he's funny because he's like, I treat her just like I would if I were there. So just know that he's paying attention. But right now, what's important is your conversation with Spirit and with God. It's very important. Yeah. My name is Carmen. Yeah. Okay. All right. Natalie Blanton. Natalie, girl. Okay. I just have to confirm what I'm seeing here, Natalie, and then I'll explain to you what I'm seeing. You you have a guide that is standing over you. And you are in a room. It's a dark room. I'm in the room with you. Look at that. I just got the chills. And I can see from like kitty corner for me is a doorway with the doors open, the light is on, and you're sitting down here in front of me, facing away from the door. So you're like this, kind of sitting up against the wall, and I'm in front of you. The door is back there. And you are, it's an empty room. It's empty. So this is a bit of melancholy. It's a bit of depression that's happening here. The door is open and the light is on. Very interesting. So I'm going to try to pick you up here a minute. Nope, you're not going to move. I just have to listen for a second. I need to hear your spirit. You want to know why? Why get up? Why go through the door? What's the purpose? What's the point? And see, because I'm the wrong person to ask that, because I usually make jokes in light of things, and you didn't like my joke. I was like, well, they're only going to laugh at you, because you're like, they're only going to laugh at me. I'm like, they're only going to laugh at you. Okay. It's funny. I mean, it was funny. The whole it was funny. And you aren't getting up. You don't want to get up. I'm going to pick you up, though. Let's see what happens when you pick me up. Or when I pick you up. If I move you to your beach, you kind of are like a bit of a jellyfish. You kind of are just sort of hanging there. And setting you on your beach. It's funny because it feels like it's almost just a loss of drive, a loss of want or desire. It feels like it's just a like a now I'm going to tell you this. Whatever whatever that is, you need to figure it out. You need to write it down. You need to get it out of here. You need to get whatever is causing you to be funky out of here onto paper. You know, we have to acknowledge and deal with our sorrows, our pains, our hurts, our issues, our angers. We have to acknowledge them and deal with them. We have to. We have to allow ourselves time to grieve. We have to allow ourselves times to process things. We have to acknowledge that I am going to allow myself to feel like crap from Monday to Sunday. And then in that time, I'm going to Netflix and wine and ice cream and Dorito. That would be my perfect slouchy pity party. I don't need anything. Oh, and my coffee. So my coffee, my wine, my Doritos, my ice cream. Yeah, I'd be good. I would be good with that. Putting a time frame on it, it helps for little things. And I'm not talking about if you lose someone, like saying, well, by September, I'm going to be over it. You can't do that. It's a process. But when things happen to us that maybe sometimes we cannot explain and we cannot make sense of, why am I feeling like this? Like, why can't I just get over it? Write it down. What is it that's bothering you? Write it down. Sometimes just recognizing that we can't really put our fingers on it, that helps. I don't know why. I just am. Okay, now if I rethink the situation, am I able to pull myself out of it? Can I say, I no longer want to do this and I'm done? And I'm going to put my face on and do my hair and get dressed? And are we able to talk ourselves out of it? So it helps us really realize, is this something clinical that we're dealing with, or is this something that we can choose to work ourselves out of? And so I've picked you up and taken you out of that room, but I really want to kind of go bing, right through the door. I want to fling you through the door, and I can't because it's a free will choice to move from here to there. So that means that there are positive things that are coming your way, Natalie, that you have to get up and walk through the door to go get. And you have to think enough of yourself to do that. You also have to talk. You can't bottle things up. You have to talk them through, not only with yourself, but with spirit and your guides. And your guide is standing over you, watching you like, come on, let's go, get out. So it's really important, these changes, these things that are coming your way. You have to get up and move through them. Anna, I did say a reading for you. Where are we at? An hour and 13 minutes. So Anna, if you go back to an hour, at an hour even, you will hear your reading in there, I think. Okay. All right. Bye, Vin Vin. We'll see you later. Love you too. Ramandeep, you have an opportunity that is presenting to you. It's not here yet, but it appears you're on your beach. You're here. Water is to your left-hand side. The boat is kind of coming in to your beach, and it means that you will be able to go out on the water without feeling engulfed in problems. And it almost looks anchored right now where it's at, maybe 5 or 6 feet out. Do not let this be a temptation to go out in the water and get the boat and bring it in. Just don't do that. You can watch for the boat, wait for it to come to you. It'll be perfect timing that way. And the anchors represent spirit, they represent God. So he's really controlling a situation for you right now. And so you're going to have to get up at some point, the boat comes in, go out and take this opportunity. And I'm not sure right now, it would probably be bad timing. And so when the boat finally comes, you'll finally have the support of the people around you. Usually the water will represent something that is career related and travel as well. And you'll finally have the support and the resources is a better way to put it, in order to make this boat trip positive and successful and manifest into something that is actually a desired outcome, which is always a good thing. All right. Let's take a peek here. Wait, let's. Okay. Hold on, I'm just checking something. You're welcome, Anna. Daniel Wilson, pretty pleased with the cherry on top. So Daniel, for you, what comes through for you is watching your circulation. That's the first thing your guides are telling me, is making sure that your circulation, especially in your legs, is okay. So I'm not sure if you, who is this? What is about the leather pants thing? I'm not sure. I don't understand the leather pants thing. Okay, so let's just, all right. Yeah, I'm going to, I think, I'm just going to remove, yeah, I put them on Lala, if, if there's more dumb comments, we don't need it in here. It's distracting. So you can remove them if they continue, which will be fine. So Daniel, Maddie, hi girl, how are you? All right. I have not seen that child since she was in diapers. Okay. So, Mary, somebody's talking weirdly, huh? I just have to remove some stuff here. And I really don't. Why can't I get up? This is so weird. All right. All right. Let's just remove this garbage. Yeah. We don't need to see it. I know. Where are you, Lala? Seriously. What are you doing? Those two up here, Renee and the other one. Renee and I'm the goat 6311. Remove them if they continue. Okay. Where was I going? Okay, so Daniel. So yeah, so they're saying watch your circulation, watch that. And it feels like legs, a lot of like leg circulation, more like calves. I'm not sure. It almost could, like, if you haven't had your blood sugar checked or if there's any diabetes that runs in the family, make sure that you're paying attention, because it almost looks kind of similar to that. So when they give me things on health, it's always to prevent something from happening. So if you have any kind of signs of issues with blood sugar, or it's something that runs in the family, make sure that you are taking this as a precaution and you are watching those levels, or at least assessing how much sugar you are taking in during the day, and possibly prevent something from happening in the future. And that would be perfect. Yeah, and that would be good. Your brother had a huge calf and found blood clots in his lungs. Interesting. Okay, so Daniel, if this is something that is happening in your family, you want to make sure that it's not going to happen with you as well. So maybe get yourself assessed and okay, and making sure that that blood clotting thing, because when I see the legs, and so clarify for me then, Daniel, they look kind of swollen or bloated. And again, if this isn't your current leg situation, make sure you're taking care. But it looks like the skin is tight. So they look a little like edema, almost like cellulitis a bit. And the circulation is off a little bit because you can see the blue hue through them. And they look dry. So, and he's very obese. Okay, so it's not you, it's your brother that's coming through. Interesting. It's so strong. I wonder if this is your brother, if, again, where you are concerned, making sure that you pay attention to anything like the clotting issues, any sugar issues. If it runs in the family, pay attention to it for yourself as well. But where your brother is concerned, this is definitely something he needs to keep under wrap, literally, like, no pun intended. He needs to make sure that he is tending to this because it almost looks like they would be like gangrene or that he may lose a limb because of it. And so get on him and make sure that he is really doing what he can to keep them healthy, lotioned up, wrapped if he has to, even with compression hose. But finding out, good. So bring it up. He's still in the hospital, so I'm sure that they will do everything that they can to help him. But it just looks like keeping him moisturized, wrapped tight, and the circulation moving through. So I bet they get him into compression hose as well. Interesting. Well, I really hope your brother is okay and that they are able to fix his legs and increase that circulation so that he doesn't lose anything. Hi, Brianna. How are you, darling? And Kayla Swope. Hello. I will see you guys in May. I bought my plane tickets today. All right. All right. Nomad trees. Okay, so you have been so kind. You're pointing out all of the trolls that are here. All right. Okay. Well, before I run to Nomad, I'm sorry, my eyes are just bothering me so bad. Hold on one second, Nomad. And Darcy, hold on one second. So Daniel, for you, the first thing that shows that they put me onto your, like earthly path, which is a long hall with doorways, and they're bringing up a transaction with money and finances. And when I walk into this room, you're standing there and you're like, what do I do with this money? Like, where should I put this money? What do I do with this money? Do I put it here? I can't put it all the way back there. So what you're telling me and what your energy is telling me is that you want to do something with it that is positive, but you can't put it in savings. It can't go into savings. It either has to go to this spending or it has to go here. So there is, it's a question about, do I cover the old or do I cover the new or do something new? And so when I am seeing this, when I am seeing this, it feels, I try to take it from you to see what you do. And you're like, no, I need it. So there's definitely a situation financially coming up that you want to be frugal. You want to be very careful with how you spend your money, where it goes. And I would sit on this decision because it almost looks like your cares will alter and they will change. I don't want to say, looking at this, I would say whatever it is that you already know of or is old is probably your best bet. And then not doing anything completely new financially, holding off on any new financial purchases, taking care of all the old first is what they're saying. And this is coming up soon. So let me go back up here to Nomad Trees. So Nomad Trees, when I put you down on your beach, they want me to mention when you were a little girl, how they used to stand around your bed. And I'm standing there thinking, okay, I'm looking at a little girl who might be 4 or 5. And then when I get behind you, I am seeing people all around your bed, which means this tells me that you either are connected or remember being connected to your spirit guides, to those who've passed over, and that this is something that either you remember or you're actively practicing. And if not, you should probably regain that ability and really hone it. So, how do I hone it? It really comes down to trusting what you're given and what you are seeing and allowing your guides to give you information and then following through with it so that they can then go, okay, we've got a live one. She's listening. She's paying attention. Let's continue to give her more information, more and more and more. So part of your message is to make sure you know that you're not crazy, that you have seen things, that you do see things, you do feel and experience them, and you just need to hone it. You need to trust it and stop questioning yourself and trust it. Very important. Cecil and Polly. Okay. But no, I'm a terrible forced move. So sadly, I cannot remember what I tell people at all. I just can't, because it comes in and I repeat what I'm being shown and I'm on to the next person. And that's what sucked about those 2 previous galleries that I tried doing for everybody. And then there was no vocals. It was awesome. So Cecilin, I am unsure about what they were saying about the move. I'm looking for anything. I know when I did the readings, they were just before and just after a full moon, and that can change a lot as well. I'm asking them for any recollection of what they had told me to tell you. The only thing that they're showing me right now in relation to a move is I just watched 2 orbs fly past me. One was as tall as the child, and one was the cat. Not a live cat either. They kind of just been running right by me. I don't know if you guys heard anything, but if you did, let me know in the comments. So what they're saying is that you are, I want to pick you up and I want to move you. I want to put you somewhere warm. I want to put you somewhere south. I want to put you somewhere where you have a whole new fresh start. And that I want to put you someplace where you're able to be free and just feel. And it's like, that's how I want to put you somewhere where you can just, it's not like you're on vacation every day, but it has that feel. Like Florida or the South. I want to put you somewhere. I know it sounds weird, but I want to put you somewhere touristy. I know. You're like, no, I just want to. Darcy Rosner. Darcy, you seem to have a lot of inflammation going on in your body. And part of it feels like you are having a bit of like I can't even think, like an allergic reaction or an intolerance to things. And so running through everything, I'm like, you may have a bit of a sensitivity to dairy or whole dairy. Looking at grains. If I were you, this is what I would do, looking at what I'm looking at and the fact that you have this inflammation going on that's probably wearing your body out. I'm simulating for like chronic fatigue. Before your body turns into an autoimmune disaster, go off of, I know, oh my gosh, I know there's a child that's poking me. Okay, so go off of, and you may hear this child. I would go off of gluten, which isn't that hard. I would go off of gluten. I would decrease my dairy. I would switch to almond milk. And I would see how, just off of those 2 things, I would see how I felt in 2 weeks. because that's what I think will help you immensely. If you just remove those two things, substitute gluten-free and almond for the other, give yourself 2 weeks, I bet you will see a massive improvement in how you feel, because that's what it feels like. Your body is constantly fighting off a small intolerance to things that you're putting into it. Not enough to cause like a shock or an anaphylactic reaction, but enough to create inflammation that becomes chronic. And that chronic inflammation looks like it's creating what would appear to be a chronic fatigue or another autoimmune issue. And so you don't want to deal with that, especially in your joints. So, yeah. Okay, so earlier, some of you weren't here, so we're going to do this right now because my eyes are, I'm losing my vision. I have, what was it? It's for 2020. So 13 years ago, I created this pin. Let me do it this way. It's called, can you see it? It's called a compassion pin. I don't know, it's all the lights on it. And it's an adult that is kneeling down and hugging a child. And it's called a You Mean More compassion pin. And the 3 stripes, it's got dark blue, light blue, and green. And it means trust and security, compassion, healing, spirituality, trust. It means it's basically providing everything for a child that a child needs. And I am going to send one of these to one of you tonight. And I have a number on a piece of paper that is already here. I'm going to fold it up. Okay, well, maybe I don't want to do it like that. Okay, what do I have here to cover this up? So maybe y'all saw it. Okay, I'm going to do this. Okay. So I have a number here, and I want everyone, one time, I want everybody to put a number in there. The first person to pick the number is going to get the pin, okay? So I'll start at the top, and I'm going to go down. I'll let everybody get a number in there. The first person to pick it gets the pin. Let's scroll on down. What do we have? We've got Lala's got 17. Kim has 4. Madeline Del Ponte, you are the winner. The number is 14. Can you see that? Oh, it's backwards. It's 14. Yay, 14. So I'm going to be sending you this awesome pin. You're going to be seeing a lot of this coming up here. It's a compassion pin. You Mean More. I got a trademark and everything. I had a whole bunch of these puppies created. And I thought, what am I going to do with these now that I'm not moving through that child abuse campaign? It fits now, right? With all this stuff, spirituality and healing and compassion, and especially with the way cell phones are. You know, you mean more than my cell phone. You mean more than this. It's just, it has a lot to do with it. Okay, so we're at an hour and a half. I want to thank you guys all for coming tonight. If you are interested in the members only, I do galleries privately for that group every other Friday night. And it allows you to also not only get it, it's a secret Facebook page. Like, you can't find it. I have to bring you in myself. You can't search it. But you also get discounts on other things, other tickets, event tickets, books, all sorts of things. And then we have a private chat. It's a lot of fun. So if you're interested, go to godstool.com. If you are looking for events, I'll be in your area between Washington State and Virginia. So Washington State all the way to Washington, D.C. and in between. So if you're interested in coming to a live event, getting read, or doing an investigation, I've got lots of visitors here. Check out godstool.com, go to the public events page. And then also, if you're looking to do something, or you've got an event or a convention, or you want me to come to your area, go to Corridor 13 and speak to them there. And they will also help get me there. So I'm going to be sending this to Maddie. So Maddie, have your mama email me or message me, and I will get your address. I think if you're still living where you were before, no, I don't. I don't have your address anymore, Kim. However, well, because my daughter stole my address book that I've had for like 30 years. She thought it was cute. Okay, so thank you all for coming tonight. And I will try to get more of these in. And I really do appreciate you all. So take care and have a good night. Happy Valentine's Day!